Number 5, something that I've not seen taught anywhere in this module, and I've revised it every year to try and keep up to date with movements and research within contemporary philosophy, theology, and neuroscience. So where I'm going to introduce you in the first session to something called theological and philosophical anthropology. What is the nature of a human being? Then we're going to look at the hard problem of consciousness. How is it that we have phenomenal experience? How can we have that kind of experience if we're just material stuff? How do you get non-physical, phenomenal experience from pure matter? Because on a physicalist account of the world, you can't really account for consciousness. This awareness of both yourself and things around you, that awareness has to come from, be located in something that itself can house that kind of awareness, and that can't be something physical. Then we're going to look at theories of personhood in Islamic theology and philosophy. I've not seen this being taught anywhere. And I'll be providing you with fresh material on that from my own research and from some research that is coming out. We'll look at neuroscience and the soul. How does science and the soul, can neuroscience help us in understanding something called the soul, or does it discredit it? We want to look at how the two come into conversation and how neuroscience research can help or maybe undermine the doctrine of the soul. Then we'll look at bodily resurrection and personal identity. This is the idea that Muslim scholars have discussed, that are you the very same body that is resurrected after death? If you are, how can you be the same body? If you are not, then what philosophical and theological questions does that raise? Then I'm going to look at, finally, the modern concept of self and gender. In the West, there is a particular idea of what it means to be a human being, and there is a certain ethical and metaphysical understanding underpinning that idea of the self, i.e. who you are and who we are. And this spills over into discussions about gender. Can you have more than 2 genders? What does it mean to be a self? And aware I? What does it mean to have an identity? How do and is my identity constructed, or is it anchored in something more permanent and objective? So we'll be looking at that in the last session, and that was interesting because I introduced it last year.